questions from media.
I think Joey forgot who we were playing this week. I'll tell you, this doesn't seem right when David Ware's not here asking the first questions. So I guess we'll get started. Again, we achieved our goal. Been 1-0 this week versus a really good James Madison team, and was able to give us 3 years in a row now win over a ranked football team. The Sun Belt's one of the strongest conferences in the country, and every game's a tremendous challenge. It'll be no different this week versus Georgia Southern. And we've won some close games this year, and all of our losses have been decided in the final seconds. We look forward to hosting the final game of the year versus Georgia Southern in front of another sold-out crowd this Saturday. We honor 25 seniors who have given their all for App State, and we're excited to have Armani back. Armani Edwards, we think about App State, he's one of the first ones that comes to your mind, and to retire his jersey number 14. So we'll open up for questions.
Coach, to reach the last week of the regular season with so much still to play for, what do you think have been some of the most important facets of this team to be able to get to this point and put together a winning streak to where you do have so much to still play for?
Well, I've said this all along. I thought this team was special in the way they embrace each other, the way they fight for each other. They come to work every single day. Again, we haven't looked ahead. It's all about the game in hand that week, and that's what will change this week against our 1-0 mentality to be the very best that week. And I know our kids were back yesterday. They were excited to be playing in November, a game that meant something. And again, you can't this game with Georgia Southern, it's a rivalry game. It's one of the best in all college football. I'll put it up there with Georgia and Florida, and Tennessee, Florida, Ohio State, Michigan. It's one of the best games in all of college football, and we're very fortunate to be playing here from a sold-out crowd, and so it's going to be a great game.
How much of it is a player-led thing to make that transition from a big win to changing the focus, or how much is that a coaching staff involved process as well?
I think we're all involved as it goes. Again, we pride ourselves in having a player-led program, but at the same time, we have some young players on our football team, and the coaches have done a great job all year long of keeping the main thing, and that's improving every single week and giving us the best chance to win on Saturday.
Marvin Parker Jr., WLOS Asheville, just on the JMU game. Yeah. A 3-0 first quarter score, a 10-5 halftime score, and a third quarter that was scoreless. Just the tension of the game, the pace of the game. Have you ever seen a 10-5 halftime score?
I haven't. It was like we were playing a baseball game, but no, that was going to be that kind of game. Again, anytime you play a team like James Madison, who was coached very well, coaching their team does not make mistakes. They make you go the long way. We knew it was going to be that kind of game, but again, we just kept digging every single play to try to make something positive happen on both sides of the ball. Our defense played the best they played all year, and they give us 2 turnovers. The first one went out and scored a touchdown 2 plays later. But again, it was a crazy game. But that's what you get in the Sun Belt. This conference is underrated, in my opinion, still, even though we're getting a lot of national publicity. Having College Game Day there and James Madison, again, it's 2 years in a row the Sun Belt's hosted College Game Day. So those are the kind of games you're going to get. It's going to be tough physical football games, and we endured that this past Saturday.
Caden Robinson, an Asheville guy out of Christ School, his performance and then that last touchdown.
Yeah, very proud of Caden. Caden's went through a lot the last few weeks, and he's really given us a spark. He's been a spark all year for us. He's been one of our go-to guys, and we'll continue to do that. And whenever the ball's in Caden Robinson's hand, you feel good about it, and we have to find more ways to get him the football.
And then lastly on that game, I mean, last week you guys were foes with them, and now you're probably not friendly, but like needing them to do something for you guys in that way. Coincidentally, cheering for JMU this weekend, obviously.
Yeah, it's we do need some help, and that's going to be a great football game. But again, I haven't had time to even think about it. We got back late Saturday evening, and we were back here early Sunday, and we were here late last night. So again, all of our focus is in Georgia Southern.
Coach, just defensively, the pressure that crew was able to get on Jordan McLeod, and that's with 2 of your 3 defensive line starters out. What has Coach Cabral been able to do so well with that group to make them competitive and to where that depth was still able to show up like that?
Well, Coach Cabral does a great job with his unit, without question, and we're very fortunate he's here. I just think the energy he brings week in and week out, the compassion, the love he has for his players, that those players play for him no matter what. And hopefully we get Clark back this week. That's the goal, get him back to be able to give some more depth. But we have who we have. We're going to coach who we have. And Coach Cabral's done a great job. And really our whole football team. We're banged up in a lot of areas right now. But again, no one cares about injuries. It's all about results. And I know our players have spent a lot of time in the training room last 3 and 4 weeks to get their bodies right to perform on Saturdays.
Cornerback's a spot. I think Ethan Johnson's been, a steady force for you guys, and maybe you don't get the attention until you get a pick or stuff like that. Just what has stood out about the performance, even going back to last year, the way he's played as such a young guy back there?
No, Ethan, he's steady in what he does. He never gets rattled, and he's going to be who he is. I think that's what makes him the player he is. But again, we were very excited for Ethan to get his first pick. I think I was the first person to jump on him when he got that. And I've been giving him a hard time. Again, I played with his dad, Orlando, here. I've known that family for a long time. I've known Ethan since he was been a baby, and to be able to be a part of that, his first interception this year, it's been great. But again, he has a lot more room for improvement, which I know he wants to perfect his craft. And but again, we need more of those this week.
Offensively, obviously JMU's a hard team to run against. How did you kind of, juggle the running back room of how you thought to try to be effective there, and what's that look like moving forward into this week?
Again, you have to give credit to James Madison. They gave up 61 yards rushing. That was our average on the entire year. I think we had 68 or 69 before the sacks. So we didn't on the stats. It doesn't show that, but we're a +8. But we had to find a way to run the football, and we weren't very successful this past weekend. Again, a lot of that goes because the defense we were playing, and also we have to be able to finish blocks up front, and we know that's been addressed. And I know our offensive line will be prepared. Coach Cummins does a great job with our offensive line, but in saying that, we have to be able to run the football because we can't throw it every single time. But we're fortunate enough to have Joey back there, and great receivers and tight ends and running backs to catch the ball in the backfield and move the ball down the field.
Beyond Nate in the running game, Kanye was effective in the passing game. Anderson had some big plays in the fourth quarter, whether it was some runs or, in the passing game as well. Just how did you kind of see that group kind of combining and what they were able to contribute?
Again, that's a very deep running back room we have there. Nate, he was dinged up there. I think it was the second or third quarter he got dinged up, and then Kanye and Anderson took the most of the reps after that. So again, they're doing their 1/11th, and that is to when your number's called, you have to make a play. And those are some physical runs they made. But again, very proud of how they protected the quarterback. They were involved in protection, and then when they cut the ball in the backfield, they made some positive yards.
Just a little bit of a look at Georgia Southern, sort of like JMU, and a new face at quarterback that has been effective in kind of his first year with them. What stands out about the way they kind of move the ball around offensively? No,
it's a very well-coached football team. Coach Helton's one of the good guys in this profession. All his teams are prepared week in and week out. You start with offense. They throw the ball all around the yard, but again, they have a very good running game. They're more of a gap scheme and a run-pass option. They're counting the numbers in the box or leverage off a second-level defender. And then on defense, they're big up front. The linebackers play downhill. They have excellent corners and safeties that fill the gaps in the run game, and they can play man coverage. So it's going to be a huge challenge, or a big challenge for us this week to do everything right, and that's what we have to do. We don't have margin for error. We have to play our best game this week.
And then just lastly for me, if you could also take a look at Georgia Southern's defense. I know it's something that has stood out to you on film, that how talented that they are.
Just answer that, Brett. What are we talking about? No, again,
I'll get Ware to ask the next question.
Can we get David back? No, it's again. They're a well-coached football team, great players, and it's a rivalry game. So our players have to be prepared to play, to give their all for App State this weekend, and that's the grueling part about this conference. Is there's no off weeks, and week in and week out it's a gauntlet to get through, and we've made it to the final home game of the season, so a lot to play for.
And lastly for me as well, with just the turbulence of the year, which is a college football season every year, you have the opportunity to close on a 5-game win streak in the regular season. Is that rewarding to you, your coaching staff, the players, just the resiliency throughout the year to just get better, chip away? Now you guys playing some of your best ball.
Yes, and I've said this early in the season that I thought we had a very good football team. Just we weren't making some plays at certain times, or the ball wasn't bouncing our way. But now it's after you got to imagine we're 3-4 after the Coastal Carolina game, and everyone thought the whole world was falling except us in this building. And we took the mantra of keep digging, and our players have done that. They've taken every single week. It's been a 1-0 mentality no matter what has happened, and we've gotten some younger guys more playing reps, more playing time, and now it's paying off for us. And again, we'll continue to get better, and that's the best part about it. But again, Saturday's a chance to honor those 25 seniors that have given their all for App State, and versus a very good Georgia Southern football team.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.